Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I am Noelle and today we are going to do a sewing room tour, which I am very excited about because it is a very aggressively requested video. Before we get started, I have three small pieces of housekeeping for you. The first is that this room is clean to my standards of like I want to start a project, but not super tidy, so some of my drawers are a little bit of a mess. I'm letting you see it in the natural way. The second thing is a little Harry Potter content warning. There are very few things that I have kept in my life that are related to that situation. I do not support her views, but they are in this room. They were things given to me by people I adore a long time ago, so I keep these things for those memories. So if seeing those things bothers you, go ahead and skip this video. And third, I have shown many parts of this room before. I have done a bunch of clean outs. I have videos about every single thing that's in every drawer and everything that's in every cabinet. So I'm going to skim past those and just show you what's in there, just a brief overview so that you know, like this is the silk cabinet, etc. But if you want to know the nitty-gritty about what's in those cabinets, I will make you a playlist and I will link it both above and below for you. All right, let's get started. This is what my room looks like when you enter it from the hallway. I've never gotten such a wide shot of this room before, but it's not a very big room. I think it's 12 by 14, which, you know, it's an average size bedroom. If you walk in the door and close it behind you, you then see the mirror that I'm often in, ready to show you what I am working on. And then we have a book cabinet here. You maybe wondered what all this is. These are hat boxes, so there's hats inside of these. I actually need to go through these again and like check out what hats are in here and see if I still want to have them. These are all my books. They are in another video, which I will link for you below and above. These are sorted, unfortunately, by size more so than topic, although I can tell you that all of these are like art books. So these are just like picture books that I use for inspiration. These are more instructional books, etc., etc., as are the rest of these. Down here at the bottom we have the 1970s Time Life books, which I'm very excited about because these were my grandma's. She collected them. I don't think this is all of them. They are fabric covered, and man are they dated. Here's also the Singer collection. Some of these books I have also from my grandma. Most of these things were given to me by my grandma. In these binders over here, we also have notes that I've taken in different classes, so these binders are pretty precious to me. And then a bunch of magazines that are about Halloween time, mostly Martha Stewart. Hello from the floor. We may have a book video coming at you soon because I do want to catalog all these books. Also look through them and make sure there's ones that I still want and get rid of the ones that I don't to make room for new ones. Also living at the bottom here is a Singer Featherweight, which I adore, but I really should be put somewhere different, but I don't really know where that would be right now, so it's living here. And a little change stitch machine that I got that's super cute. Sometimes Brunhilde lives here, sometimes a cat bed lives here. We just keep this space open for whatever's needed. Okay, the most requested thing is the art that is on my walls, so I'm gonna go through this stuff. This is a Storm from X-Men that was drawn for me by Jim Lee. I have met him a number of times and gotten him to draw for me. These two are the cover art, and they're actually the things that were used to make the covers of the comic books for the comic book Fray, which is a Joss Whedon Future Slayer book. Only had 8 little episodes in it, but it's a great book and I really enjoyed it. Here we have a Catwoman that was drawn by an artist that was at the Comic Book Legal Defense quick draw session at Comic-Con, as well as a Death that was drawn at the same time by a completely different artist. That's one of the fun things about Comic-Con is you can go like bid on art as it's being drawn. This guy's a little Scary Godmother that was drawn for me by Jill Thompson of Scary Godmother fame. There's her doll that's also Scary Godmother. Up in this corner we have my knockoff Fenty little monster bag clips. I just think they're super cute, so I hung them up there. Those are not real. I also have a little bit of hat storage up top here with my Iron Man hat and a little bustle dress feather situation. It's being blocked here by my chandelier, which was here when I got here, so that was fun. Alright, next up we have the Moneymaker section, which is where my Janome M7 Continental sits. This is a beast of a machine with a whopping 17 inches of throat space and astronaut lighting underneath it, which makes it almost impossible to film on, which is kind of horrible for me. I do have a variety of random things in the corner here. So antique threads that are all silk. I have some ribbons and stuff. I have buttons. I have wonder clips. I have cards that have been sent to me, like postcards. sometimes with products, sometimes not. This is from the antiquarian dinner situation with Dandy Wellington, I think in 2021. I have a little cauldron over here with a tarot deck, Taylor's Tarot, some more silk thread, and a little antique pincushion that was bought for me by my friend Hannah, which I love. Spray bottles with water and vinegar, air, all the things that you need. Over here in the corner, we have a little doll section. I don't know how this came about, but we have a scary godmother doll, which I adore. And we have tiny Bernadette, who is a little lifelike model of Bernadette that was sent to her, but she unfortunately moved and didn't have space for that. I have one of my little nieces that's loves of my life gave me some of these little toys that are stuffed, and a little Brave Funko Pop. On the side here, I keep this little bag, and many people have asked me what this bag is for. It's actually full of like camera stuff, so it's like lens cleaners and the cap for this camera, like the lens cap for it, and extra storage cards and all that kind of stuff are in there. Always a lint roller, always. Next to my desk, trash and recycle, always a tripod. Next to that is a gigantic Fortnum & Mason basket. It's really hard to say how big this is. I think at one point I described it as being able to hold at least 6 cats. In this basket are like fabric scraps, things that are big enough that like I think I could get use out of them in the future, not like small scraps and stuff like that. I keep a couple pairs of stays and a shift in there in case I need to like change quickly into something just for trying on purposes. Maybe there might be a corset in here at any given time, stuff like that. On top of the basket are future projects that are underway. So as we can see, there's the bandanas that I did that I still need to dye. This is the Decades of Style Hilda hat that I want to make with all the fabric ready to go. I have a timbre embroidery kit. I'm working on the Angelica gown. So like all the kind of like stuff I need for that sort of stuff is usually on here, or it is on my ironing board. Coming back to my desk, there is a video that has a lot more detail on these drawers, but I will show you what's in them. So on top here, we have notebooks. These are pen rolls. So they have lots of pens. We got tape, we got glue, we got like stationery things that I might need. Second drawer is like misc. So I have a couple little bags, a fan, a little clothes brush, some gloves, stuff like that. This is mostly like new stuff that I haven't really like established where it's going to go yet. Although I think I know where a couple of these things are going to go, because this is a hat that Lynn gave me and we just made a hat box that's perfect for it. Hello, you can see my camera. In this next drawer we have what I call costume kits. So for costumes that need a lot of stuff, like this is Iron Man's kit. It has like the gloves, the lights, some batteries, like all kinds of stuff that I might need to run this costume or to like wear it. I just packed these little compression bags with all the stuff that I'm going to need that I could need at a convention. There's thread in here, you know, that kind of stuff is all in here. This is for Sailor Moon, I think. I'm not really sure what this one is for, but I'll have to go through and look at it because that's a problem. And then this sits on top, and this is just the center section stomacher for Iron Man when I'm not wearing it as Iron Man, when I'm wearing it just as a muscle dress. Next drawer, jewelry. All of this is jewelry. It's a ridiculous amount of costume jewelry. It's not worth anything, but there's like a lot of jewelry in here. The bottom drawer has like fans, a little bit of misc. This is all like pockets and fichus and stockings and stuff like that in these two bags. So this is like mostly 18th century stuff that I might need. Do I need all of these pockets? Like probably not. I think I should probably figure out what of those I need, put the ones that I want on tapes and then get rid of the rest, but here we are. So while that other side is a little more post-production, this side is a little bit more chaotic. These are receipts that I need for tax purposes. This section is like mostly chalk, thread magic, stuff like that I might need. This is the box that came with all my feet for my sewing machine. So like when I need auxiliary feet, they're there. If they're not in this secret drawer, which is fun. Obviously bobbins, stuff like that. These are velvet samples that I have. Any kind of like sample stuff will go in here. Second drawer down is functional items. Needles, all kinds of needles. Needles for hand sewing, needles for machine sewing, rulers. There's a stapler in here, there's hole punches in here. There's a compass, like just any small bits that I might need are in these boxes here. This is a chalk sharpener, like a Japanese chalk sharpener, I think that Hannah got me. That's really cool. So just like, this is all the bits, the small bits you might need are in this drawer, which is great. It's very convenient. This is stuff that I need for mailings, obviously, because I have a Patreon and occasionally I send things out to my patrons. If you'd like to join my Patreon, it's always linked down below. Don't feel obligated to. If you want to, feel free. There's a whole bunch of different levels. It's there for you if you want it. This is the packaging department. The bottom two drawers are a little bit of misc. This one I think is mostly like projects I kind of wanted to do, or like these are scissors that need to get sharpened. So once they sort of wear out, I put them in here. I don't know, there's some tracing paper, really cool stuff in here. Mostly little projects. I got these peeps. I wonder where I think I got them from a patron or something. Someone gave me these and they're really cute. I'll have to use them. These are like miscellaneous project supplies, basically. This bottom drawer has a dual purpose. It has embroidery stuff, including sashiko embroidery stuff that a really awesome person from Japan sent to me. And then also some items that I have that are kind of like ready to go for me to give away. Like I was gonna give away Worm at Costume College, but then they became stupid. And so I didn't go to Costume College, so I have a bunch of Worm. But I have all these things that like, you know, old needles, bread, stuff like that. So if I need to make a little care package for someone, I can. All right, here's the table. I have information about this table and also this mat right here. Every time you watch a video, it's in the description below. There's so much information that I put down there, and like people keep asking me questions. I'm like, it's in the description. Anyway, this table is like 73 or 4 by like 50 or 60 something this way. Those dimensions are also in the downstairs. So these are 2 kitchen countertops. There's 2 here and they are not connected to each other. You can see them completely separate right there. I have this cutting mat on here just because I'm a klutz and I spill stuff a lot, and I was precious about my countertop at the beginning. I'm no longer that way, but this guy just sort of lives on. And then my wool mat, which I absolutely adore. Do recommend. When I am not using my wool mat, someone just asked me about this. I do roll it up and I put it back in its original shipping box right there. These are kitchen cabinets. You can buy these in so many configurations. All of this is from Ikea. I got the one with the drawer and then the cabinets, and there's just 4 of them. So there's 2 here on the front and 2 here on the back. They hold all of my fabric. They're sitting on, I think, 4-inch risers. But the other great thing about this is that you can get these riser feet in any size, like 3 inches, 2 inches, 1 inch, 5 inches, 6 inches, like all of the inches are available for these riser feet. So if you're taller or shorter than me, I'm 5'7", you can get yourself some risers that are the right size. This here is a shop stool that I got at Costco. Do recommend. It is very comfy, very convenient. It sits nicely. It's a great stool. I have no complaints. If this dies, I will go get another one. Alrighty, I'm on the ground again. This is a 6-bin holder thing from Target. These are just squares. You can set it upright or sideways. I just needed more storage, so I got 2 of these, and they are sitting back to back underneath this. This used to go all the way through, but it doesn't now. I keep bottles of spring water for my iron and steamer, etc., in here. I only bought 5 bins for each 6-bin one, so I have a total of 10 bins because I wanted to have one space that was open, and that was smart. In fact, if I did it again, I might leave 2. What is in these bins, Noelle? Okay, so this one is holding like cording, linen tape, stuff like that. This one holds my grommet press. This one holds some extra fabric. This one holds some tarlatan. This one holds assorted hams. So like I have a corset ham. I just have all kinds of hams, like tailoring tools. Here's a ham holder, which could maybe go in there, but it's probably too full. This one is some extra cording that I just got from Lynn that doesn't quite fit in there. All of these are really full. The key to this one right here is honestly when I sit on my stool, this little section right here is where I put my feet. I love it. All right, since I'm on the ground, I'm gonna hit you up with what's in the cabinets. This one on the right is the silk cabinet. Again, this is in another video, so I'll link you off to that. But these are my silks. This is where the silks are. There's actually some silks in the other one as well. This is a left-hand cabinet. It is also chock full of silks. Fun times. To be fair, some of these are poly silk. Some of these might just be poly. I don't know. They're silk or silk-like. This particular shelf, however, has been reserved for all the things I need for filming, as well as my reed pleaters. So there's like every kind of monopod, tiny tripod, little lighting solution. My Rode mic is in here, just like all kinds of stuff is in here, but it's all technical stuff. And I really needed a place in this room for that stuff, so I cleared this guy off. Back half of my table is my toolkit and my thread cabinet. I love both of these. I got this on a trip to Long Beach, California. This guy is stunning, and I just block it with this at all times. I love her. She's gorgeous. See, this is what I mean about I didn't clean every little thing. These are cotton threads. These are synthetic threads and these are silk and linen threads at the top here. This is full of like specialty threads like nylons and stuff. Okay, on top of this cabinet lives Patterns of Fashion book. I have a bone to pick with Jenny Tiramani and also Jenna Arnold who put these books out. They're extra long, they're weirdly tall, they're floppy. Their statement is like, oh, you should have them open on your table. First of all, there's 6 of them. You're not gonna have all 6 on your table open at all times because they're wildly different time periods. And also, I have yet to ever use one of these as like a useful book in my sewing career. So like, ma'am, make these books easier to put on your bookshelf. It almost makes me not want to buy them. Rant over. I also keep my tailor's hams and a little wood tailor's press there and a little project I have never finished. Going down the side aisle of shame. There's always cords here because I'm always charging stuff. This is my phone being charged right now. This is the blanket project that I never even started that I was going to do on the trip with Gigi. This is auxiliary yarn so I can practice the stitches that I need to do this slip stitch blanket. These are sparkly holiday garland things so that I can make Mickey Mouse ears light up things, headbands for people. I keep making them and this stuff just like never diminishes and I don't know why. This is a huge pile of posters and artwork that we have collected over the years that I don't have room in my house for, so I don't really know why we still have them, but there they are. This is the picture that is next to the window. Oh, these are Ren Fair bells that I got. This is the cover art poster that they gave away at Comic-Con, and I think I mentioned that I know, maybe I didn't, I know the inker and the penciler of this comic book series. That's like how I got those other covers. I have actually a ton of the artwork from this comic book, interior pages and covers. But they got Joss to sign this and whatever, and he's problematic now, so I'm kind of bummed about that. But I might take this down at some point and put up some other pictures, but we'll see. Here's my little dragon I got in Morocco. I have this whole wall full of beautiful Victorian art from Victorian magazines. I'm going to try to show you as best as I can. These are really hard to photograph because this table is exactly where I need to be. This beautiful Harper's Bazaar cover. This is 1870s for sure. This is some natural form goodness. So 1876 to 1880, like 2, maybe 3. But I am just in love with these bustle dresses. I think this one is first bustle also, so 1870s. All right, this one is 1888. So second bustle has a bunch of children, and then ladies' coats, and finally gowns. It's interesting how much like an open robe some of these are. One of these days I'm going to make some of these. This is a beautiful colored one that I got at the Dickens Fair, and I admired it for many years. They had it up in the bookshop booth for many, many years, which was awesome. So one year I went in and bought it. And this is probably first bustle also. I have always loved these ice skating pictures, so one day I finally bought one and I love it. Okay, there is one more. It's behind this closet door, which is kind of locked in the open position and has been since like day 2 of the pandemic. So I haven't been able to have a handyman come in and fix this yet, but I will at some point, probably very soon. I'm gonna open this as much as I can. You're gonna get a weird angled shot of this one, but you'll get to see it. All right, that is what that picture looks like from an angle in the dark. All right, this is my by far most used drawer. It's to my right hand when I'm at my table. This is the freezer paper that I'm always using. There's glues in here, there's weights, there's buttons, there's hooks and eyes, there's all the little closure things you're ever gonna need in here. Tapes, all kinds of stuff in here. So this is a very useful drawer. Again, another video has all of the stuff in here. And the drawer to my left is corset making supplies. So lots of boning, tons of boning, hammers, boning cutters, whalebone, grommets, all that kind of stuff is in this drawer. The behind the table section is very narrow, so this is also going to be kind of hard to film. I'm going to do my best job here for you. Let's look in the cabinets and drawers. This drawer is the one that is most in the corner. It's right underneath the thread cabinet. It has horsehair braid, I don't know, just random stuff in it. It has lots of things that I don't use very often in it. Glue guns, I don't know. There's just a bunch of misc. It's kind of when I go, oh, I'm not going to need this very often, like fusible interfacing, it just kind of goes into this drawer. Under that is a cabinet that has a little bit of wool in it, but a lot of cotton stuff in this cabinet. Some linen, some polished cotton, like a lot of polished cotton. I honestly have no idea how the wool got in here. If it's cotton, it's mostly in here. There's cotton in the other one too. Sometimes there's linen in here. This is like the cotton linen side of the table. This section is like the secret shame section of the room. It's all very organized though. So this is my scrap bag right here, and I'm gonna make a poof, so I've been saving my scraps for that. Underneath here in this bag is some spider web fabric that I'm going to use at some point. Here's my Ravenclaw hat, which is getting absolutely smashed. There's a couple little drawers right here that I just kind of stuffed in here that have tools, bead making stuff like that in it. Obviously some ironing supplies right here. And then if I take that stuff out, you can see that I have 5 more of these square boxes in them. And mostly these guys hold ribbons. All kinds of different ribbon that I have. The only one that's not ribbon is this top one, and it is got a wig head in it. Moving on to the top drawer. This drawer has tools in it largely, so lots and lots of rulers, many drafting tools. I have some extra pockets that I was giving away to patrons. This is the bedazzler and all the stuff that goes with the bedazzler. There's buttonhole cutters, all kinds of stuff in here that's just tools, basically. Not like everything in this whole room isn't a tool, but precision tools, I guess? I don't know. And this cabinet is mostly linen. There is a few other blends in here. Linen, cotton, stuff like that. Some denim is in here. That is not all my fabric storage. I have a bunch of bins of fabric that are in my garage as well. I've got a linen bin, a blend bin, a wool bin. There's a lot more fabric than that's in here either. I really just gotta use up fabric. I do believe that fabric collecting is a completely different sport than sewing things. For completion's sake, here's my closet. There's a bunch of shoes up here that I use for costume stuff, and many of my costumes, although not even close to all of them. There's a whole bunch in the garage, and then there's also some in my guest room closet. This is thread. I got gifted all the thread in a Woman Who Has Passed collection, so I got that. In here is also anything flat, so, you know, cutting them out. There's also a secret stash of what appears to be mostly dark fabric. So anything that's on a roll and is too much to handle as a folded goes in here. I wish this was not the case though, because this is just not a good idea. Like, these things are constantly threatening to collapse. Here's some pattern paper. We got some black silk, the Merida. We got some silk twill. We got whatever that is. That looks great. There's just a bunch more fabric in here, which I'm like, I really need to figure out a better system than what I have right now. Okay, last but not least, I'm gonna do this wall. And this board is probably the thing that is the most requested in the whole room. People want to know what's on this board. My tea shop sells the pictures that are on their walls, and this was there in their bathroom, I think, and I just couldn't help but get it because it's so cute. Everyone is familiar with the whiteboard. Don't have to go through that. Here are all the cards that are on the top of the boards though. All of these are from very good friends. I used to think that this board area was going to be for inspiration, but it ended up just being all my friends who sent me cool stuff. I just put it on my board. I did attend a couple different ribbon pleating classes, so you will see the cockades and assorted pleated ribbon that I have done, and I do use these ribbons for inspiration for things. I just give you a slow overview of what's on here. These are keychains that you can get, and most of them like glow in some way or whatever from Disneyland. You can get them in your drinks. There's another one somewhere. Where did it go? I don't know. These are like Christmas cards from Abby. I don't know. If my friends make cards and they send them to me, I put them on this board. These ones that look like this are definitely from Constance. That little witch right there is Constance. There's more Constance cards. These are her Christmas cards over the years. This sticker looks exactly like my cat Aries did. He passed away in January right before my birthday. This was the Lady Sherlock card that Bernadette made. These are from Erica. She made these guys, and actually she has these Padme ones for sale. So you can see these 3 are a set. You can buy them individually or you can buy them together. I will link all that down below for you. She also just released these 3, which I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Like, my board might change, and I might actually change a bunch of stuff in my room, which is why I thought to do this video. And then she also, just a few days ago, released these Ahsoka patches. If you're interested in these, I will link all of these for you. These are absolutely gorgeous patches. This is what all is on the board for everyone who wants to know. My friend Pax made this for me. Dandy Wellington pin. A lot of Christine here for you guys. Anyway, there's just lots of stuff on this board. I found this place in, I think I was in Amsterdam, and it was our hotel, and it had these pins that said yes, and I was like, oh, I love saying yes. Let's have this pin. And then they had another one that said silently judging you. Where is that? Oh, it's over here in the corner. Silently judging you. This is a piece of what I call the sneeze dress from Morgan Donner. She was making this dress and I could not pronounce it. So she sent me this and I found it very amusing. These are my sashiko samples that I made when I took a sashiko class. I don't know. I just really love all these little pins and stuff that I got over the years. They're very fun. Little push pins that are Jack Skellington. This is a Morgan Donner pin. Christine made this as a badge holder. Whenever I get a job, I will probably use this. This is from Disneyland Hong Kong, I think. Yeah. This is one of Constance's eyelets from her eyelet class. My friend Sarai made all these little Daleks. You'll see little Doctor Who things all over the place. I don't know, there's just like a lot of stuff on here from a lot of people who are very cool and I love them. And it's fun to have all these little things. Last but not least, the Chaos ironing board. I do iron on this board even though I have this mat, because this mat does not allow you to iron anything that's like circular easily. So I do use my ironing board. People are always like, why do you still have it? Also because it holds stuff. So while I'm figuring out how to reorganize my board, because like I don't know how to get all these patches on here, so I'm gonna figure out something. Those are there. Obviously my iron's there. I don't know where to store this glue because I want it to stay upright. Maybe it'll just go there. So that's probably it. I always have a towel down because I always have a glass of ice water here and ice water sweats. And I started making all these rings on my ironing board, and so that got annoying to me, so I have that. This is part of the Angelica gown, which I need to make. So sometimes project stuff is on here. I don't know. This is like the most untidy place at all times. It's just my, like, I don't know where this goes. I could use just a shelf here instead of this, but it also makes it hard to walk through here sometimes. So it's fine that it's like this because this is also very movable. And also I iron on it. And then sometimes there's projects. So like this is a pirate shirt in a bag. So if I have a project that I can take with me places, I just put everything I need for it in a bag. So there's like needles, threads, scissors, everything in this bag already. So I can just grab it and go. So sometimes I have stacks of these in here if I'm in the middle of a bunch of hand sewing projects. And of course along the bookcase is all of Bernadette's drawings that she used to release with her Patreon. So that's the full room. Now you've seen everything that's in here, and I can totally take everything out of here and paint and do all kinds of different things and put stuff in completely different places now. I feel like it's been recorded and now is my permission to demolish the whole thing. I actually might take my friend board apart and like put different stuff on it and like store some of this stuff away so that I have more room. My room is very chaotic, and it's because I like looking at things on the walls, but even if it's chaos, it's still like organized. I would kind of like to paint. I do like the chartreuse walls with the brown paint on 2 of the walls. That's very fun. But it was like this when I got here, so I don't actually even know how old it was, and I've owned this house for 10 years. So like, I feel like it's kind of getting to be time to give this a paint job. There's also like, is chartreuse really the best color to be filming against? Because light does reflect, right? Everything does look different in this room because it's green light bouncing all over this place. So we'll see. We'll see. I might do it at some point. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. As always, leave me comments. Let me know what you're working on, what you're watching, what you're listening to, what you're reading, all of those things. I finally started listening to my St. Mary's Chronicles book. It's very good so far, but I'm only a few chapters in, so that's not really saying anything. I will totally let you know when it's over. But leave me comments. Let me know what you think. If I paint my room, what color should I paint it? Like, kind of white is actually the best answer, but that's also the most boring answer. I would really like it to be like a dark, rich, yummy teal color, like a deep teal, but that would make the whole room super dark. So I don't think that's in the cards for this room, but let me know what you think, what you think if I paint it, I should paint it. I don't know when I will have time to do this. I need to get the door fixed first. But in the not too far distant future, I might paint. Like, I don't know. It'd be fun to put up different stuff. I'd probably keep the bustle dress pictures, and obviously like the whiteboard needs to stay and stuff like that, but I don't know. What would you guys do? What would you do differently? I feel like I packed a lot of stuff into this small space, and I can get a lot done in this room because it's very efficiently like managed, and I tend to keep it fairly tidy. So that does make it work for me. Moving stuff around isn't really an option. I have like literally laid this room out in CAD programs and moved this table into every position it can be in, and there is no other way that the desk and the table and the bookshelf can be that is like actually works. Just trust me on this one. But like, you know, if I had to paint, if I had to do that kind of stuff, what would you do? Let me know. All right, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, hit the bell if you want to be notified, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.